All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the fourth installment of our quarantine film study. I'm Dan Hatman here at the Scouting Academy. And today we're going to be talking about Cam Newton. We wanted to bring up someone that's obviously relevant, a player that's recently been released by the Panthers, eligible free agent. So I brought on someone, we want to talk about quarterbacks. I brought on someone that was going to really help us dive deep on this, explore the injuries, explore some of the differences between seasons. So this actually being a two-part film study for us. We're going to take a look at Cam in 2018, up until the point where he injures the shoulder against Philadelphia. We're going to come back in 2019, look at how he responds from the shoulder injury up until the point where the foot injury puts him on injured reserve. So again, very excited to have Coach Chris Palmer with us. Coach and I actually got a chance to meet. We were both working for the Giants years ago. He has been an NFL head coach. He has been a general manager. He has built teams from scratch. He's seen this at every different level. Can't wait to get more into his backstory as we wrap up the film study. But Coach, I want to get into Cam here in 2018. But first, we have to say thank you to the NFL for providing GamePass to us. Again, this is a tool that they made available to everybody until May 31st. And then after that, it is $99 for the year. And this tool allows you not only to see all the coaches tape that we're providing for a number of years back, but they also have some special shows and things of that nature. So again, this tool is allowing people to watch film and break it down on this time where we don't have football to consume. So we hope you enjoy that. So Coach, what were your thoughts when taking a peek on the film side? What were your expectations kind of coming into Cam Newton here?
Well, first of all, Cam was a number one round draft choice, first player selected. And you look at him and you know the quality of the player. His style of play, he's been in the league for 9 years and, he's had some injuries. And that's just who he is. That's the way he plays the game. And as you look at him, the player as he was, and with the number of injuries that he's had, you've got to look at it and see, okay, what effect is this having on his game?
I'm with you. So what we chose here is Cam specifically on his throws over 10 yards during this time. So again, in 2019, we picked out a couple of games just to do this cut up and keep it a little tighter from a time standpoint for you all. And so this will be the game against Dallas and the game against Philadelphia in 2018. And we've again selected the throws where he makes over 10 yards. And we'll get into that. So the first throw here is week 1 against Dallas. It's 2nd and 20. I always make the joke, Coach, not a lot of calls on the play sheet for 2nd and 20.
No, you're just trying to cut it in half so you come up with a reasonable third down situation.
So again, let's just take a peek at it here post-snap in terms of the picture that you're seeing when you're coaching a quarterback.
You look at it, he's got a single high safety. He looks like he's coming over here to the receiver in press coverage, one-on-one. So let's see where he goes with it. Tries to get the safety to move. Does a good job with his eyes. Comes back inside. The receiver does a nice job of running over the defensive back, and he delivers it on time.
Just take a peek here at Greg coming out of this. So they motion him in here, gets his release. He's able to cross-face the DB and catch the jump ball. So see this from the end copy here.
Yeah, I think this would be important for anyone watching the film. Try to get a visual picture of how Cam is throwing the ball. How he is, how's his balance, how's his synergy, is the body working together, is a certain part of his body working against him. So this would be a very important aspect as you take and evaluate any quarterback. He's tight in his drop. He opens a little bit, making the safety, trying to move the safety. He's looking over to his left. He's got the ball carrying high, get back in, And look at his shoulders. They're
So
pretty
when
balanced.
you're looking at the shoulders, what are you looking for specifically?
I'm trying to see if, is he giving anything away? He's in good shape. He's got the ball up above the numbers. He's got it away from his body. He's in good shape. I like to see the shoulders try to stay as flat as possible so there's not a lot of rocking and rolling in his delivery.
Makes sense. He can certainly spin it there.
Right. He's got a strong enough arm. There's no question about his arm. You see his left shoulder dip just a little bit, and I think that's one of the reasons that the ball is high. Watch the left shoulder go down, right shoulder's up above it, and that's where the throw is a little bit high.
Let's bring that back and just let everybody see that a little slower there. So again, as you're mentioning, when he goes to throw here, he pulls that shoulder.
And see how his body curves a little bit at the hips, and I think that's what makes the ball go high. So when you were working with him, if you were in practice or something like that, you stand behind the quarterback and you're trying to keep that cylinder in one place in the shoulder as square to the line of scrimmage as you can.
Makes sense. Good job by Olsen securing that catch. All right, so now later in this Dallas game, we got a 1st and 10 here, 0-0 game. Again, I'm always interested in kind of what you're seeing pre-snap, whether it be defensive coverage or motion, and what that may bring you to in terms of anticipating from the play.
See, you got zone right now. The receiver coming from the outside in, the corner stays outside, so you've got some type of zone coverage. You got the safety cheating to your left based on the formation. You go into a game and the defense is going to decide which side they'd like to favor. Now let's see when the ball snapped whether the safety comes back to the middle of the field.
He starts drifting in a little bit.
Trying to confuse the quarterback. You got zone coverage. Linebackers are taking a drop.
So with this little mesh concept that they seem to be running here, and the linebackers' eyes forward like this, are you anticipating that this is probably the look here in behind the linebackers?
Yeah, they're going to have a read on Cam and whatever his mechanics with his eyes. What routine is he using with his eyes? Looking at it, it looks like he's looking to the right because both linebackers are starting to favor to the right. Now, let's see if he's going to come back in behind it because the defense looks at Cam, and Cam has an idea. His coaches have given him an idea what he can do with his eyes in moving the linebackers in zone coverage.
So it looks like he checks off the running back here, stays to the right, and then comes back.
Right. Looks like his weight goes back a little bit. I think we'll have a better view of it from behind.
All right. So get that motion in off screen there. So now 80's in the formation, like you said, looking like zone.
Notice both linebackers. Just go back now. Notice both linebackers look to 22. They're trying to make sure they know where he is, the running back coming out of the backfield. Right now, you've got the linebackers. You've done a good job with your eyes. Their distribution underneath is not good because both linebackers, you look at the linebacker to the left, he's already on the hash, and the linebacker to the right, they're within 2 yards of one another. If you get into that behind the weak side linebacker, you're going to have a hole for the quarterback to throw. So Cam has done a good job with his eyes. He's tall. He's on his toes. Look at the linebackers. They're all looking over here. They're trying to break to the right. They're left. And there's a cavity in behind it that's coming open. and you'd like to see that receiver get uncover himself a little bit more, because what's happening now, the quarterback has got to throw through that linebacker. Now, right now, this is a flood coverage. You got both inside linebackers to the right. So there's a cavity inside that hash. And if the receiver just gets over there, it'll make it an easier throw for the quarterback. So what happens is he's trying to throw the ball. He's covered. You can't get the ball into him with that linebacker there. So what happens is the ball sails over the top almost to the safety.
Ends up getting tipped.
Yeah.
Heath goes to try to make a play on it back there. But to your point, Levin finishes over there, and Cam can lead him.
Right.
This has a different outcome.
Right. Now, see, one of the things that, and just go back to that, Dan, please. As coaching the quarterbacks, one of the things is very, very important for a quarterback. He knows where all of the offensive guys are going. Okay, he should know where the receivers are going and where they're supposed to be. Quarterbacks, sometimes they're not sure of an individual. Okay, they haven't worked together long enough. They haven't drilled the route long enough. And the quarterback winds up looking for the receiver to tell him what he's doing. So what happens, so Cam, in this situation, he's got the linebackers moving. He's done a great job with his eyes. But now what happens, the linebacker sees him looking up the receiver coming in behind him, which brings him back. Okay? Now, if I'm coaching the receivers, I'm asking the receivers to get farther to the inside, over to the left of the quarterback, so there's a more direct throw. With him sitting right there, we've got the issue, and it makes it easy for that linebacker to get underneath and, tip the ball. So I'd say the quarterback and the receiver are wrong in this situation.
I gotcha. So 3rd and 7 now. Carolina has actually taken the lead. We get our next exposure to Cam, second quarter. Bring that back a second again, just give you the pre-snap look. Oh, if we're truly getting pre-snap, let's go right here.
Well, it looks like they got him on a quick count, which is good. And this always helps the quarterback, but it also makes it difficult for the quarterback because he doesn't get a true read because the defense hasn't established itself. Obviously, he can get a good read from the safety being in the middle of the field, but those guys running around underneath, you're just not quite sure whether they're playing zone or man.
So 2 seconds into the play here, this is the picture. Any thoughts from what you're seeing there in terms of options? He looks like he's looking up top here.
Right. Go back to it, Dan, just from the beginning there. Okay. You look like you have a safety coming down to the side of the back. Okay. So you got a linebacker. I'm not sure whether they're a nickel or not, but I would think they were some type of dime package or nickel package here. You got a guy coming out that's not quite sure who wants to cover. So you got a one-on-one situation to the right, and you have a one-on-one situation to the left. So now you as the quarterback have to determine what your matchup is. Which one do you like the best? Obviously, down and distance is going to be a factor, and right now it's 3rd and 7.
Bring it back for you again. This combination looks a bit off.
Yeah, we have confusion on this. I would say this is a broken play. Just going back, the interesting thing is they're rushing the side of the back trying to keep him in. So you got the linebacker and the safety. So one of the things that Cam would want to have an idea is, okay, I'm really getting a 5-man rush, okay? Obviously, the running back is an exceptional receiver, and they're trying to keep him in with the linebacker coming. And the safety coming down tells you right now, as the ball is snapped, Cam should see that the safety coming down there on the 43-yard line, he's eyeballing the safety, eyeballing the running back. You'll know that right now they're not. It's still one-on-one with the running back coming out.
So they pick up the 5, and then again, these two routes seem to follow each other to the top of the field here.
Right. We have confusion there. So
he's trying to throw it over the corner.
Right.
Almost fits in there.
Right. The distribution makes it difficult, and it's just not a clean route right now. And when the receivers start looking at each other, let's go back to this a little bit, Dan, here. Okay. You got them sliding, okay? But now they're zoning it off inside. 70's coming back, trying to bump 67 off, and 73 to go to the linebacker, which would allow 22 to get out.
Cam.
All right.
Gives it everything he's got with someone in his face.
Right. It's a courageous throw right there. But the distribution on the route, that's a broken pattern.
So through our couple of plays here, we certainly have some questions about 11. I'd want to bring to the staff and better understand.
Yeah, and that may be one of the reasons why Cam is looking at 11, because he doesn't really quite know what he's going to do. And that, when the evaluation of the quarterback, the quarterback gets all the blame, but in that situation, you see some people that start running mystery routes. You have some questions, and it can't all fall on the quarterback.
No doubt. So we got a 1st and 10 here, same score. Carolina up by 7. Dallas in a similar package. So there's your pre-snap look, Coach.
Right, it's empty. Okay. Looks like you got leverage on number 2 down here. You got press on the outside. Looks like you've got a outside leverage on number 2 at the top. Number 3 is outside. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to funnel everything into the linebacker, the free middle linebacker, and we just have to wait and see if he's trying to spy the quarterback. Let's go back to that now. Okay, you're evaluating a quarterback, and just go back into the line of scrimmage. What would we say on number 2?
You said outside leverage
at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
At the bottom. Number 2 is inside leverage. We all agree on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So knowing the concept, they're running like a switch concept. Because the guy is inside of number 2, we know that we've got a pretty good chance to hit the wheel route because of the inside leverage. So just run it until he gets about 10 yards downfield, right? See he's inside, stop it. See the leverage he's gotten on number 2? Okay. Yeah. Now, you as the quarterback, you would like to be able to come down to him. The only thing that would discourage you is you have the free safety cheating to the right side of the field. And because of the inside leverage, I'm sure that he knew he'd have to help on the inside leverage on any type of wheel route. So let's go see how far we get with this. Okay. Now, you as the quarterback, you've got to keep this to the sideline. If not, the free safety is going to take and have a chance on the play. If he throws it farther down the field, there's got to be something where you put it right on the sideline. What we try to tell the guys, as you're running up the sideline, you want to be 4 yards from the sideline so the quarterback knows he has 4 yards outside of you before the ball would go out of bounds. So I think this is good design. The only thing, you don't know what they told Cam. You go back to this situation with that free safety, go back a little bit, Dan. With this free safety cheating this way, I knew I had outside leverage at the top, okay? So this happens to be a 1st and 10 play, and as you let it go down the field, you're going to see that number 1 on the in route gives you better leverage. But we don't know what's being taught to the quarterback, and I wouldn't downgrade him at all. But to me, that particular play, I would have encouraged the quarterback to go to number 1 to the left because of the outside leverage and the safety cheating to the right.
Do you see anything from Cam in terms of moving the pocket and throwing it that discourages you in terms of not hitting this throw?
No, I think he's, I think he kind of, let's go to the end zone now. I think we can get a better idea of this. See, I think right here, he knows where he wants to go. He's looking over there. The only thing I would tell him, try to keep your eyes down the middle of the field a little bit longer. The timing of the play is so important. If you look too soon to the right, all that does is give the safety a chance to get on his horses and come over and make a play on the sideline. If you keep your eyes down the field and you can tie him down in the middle of the field, now you've got a chance to throw it up the rail. And then as he finishes up, I think he's trying to take a shot. Just run a little bit, Dan, there. Right there, I mean, you would like to be able to say he can get it in there. But this is what I'm saying as far as a quarterback is concerned. He now raises his left shoulder up. Okay, watch the end of the throw. And then it takes off on him. So the ball is overthrown by about 3 yards. I think, he had a chance to get it in there. You would expect him to get that in there. He's got the defender to his inside, just exactly where you want him. Now, if he can drop it over the outside shoulder of the receiver, you would hope that he would make this play. The quarterback and the running back, actually, in this case.
Just getting those shoulders flat again prior to the throw there as he steps up. He does a good job gaining ground, helping his right guard out by getting to some space.
Right. See, I think Dan, one of the problems there, just go back to it. I think instead of sliding, he's taking a big mother may I step instead of a little step. See the jump there?
Yeah.
When he jumps into that, I think it throws him out of sync a little bit. And then what happens is that's the consistency of sliding in the pocket is so important. And right now, him being, he's powering himself into that slide. I think it threw him out of whack a little bit there.
Makes sense. So let's look at our next exposure here. So now we got 2nd and 10 play. Again, Dallas showing a similar set of safety setup.
Right. You got safety in the middle of the field.
Carolina showing 2x2 back to the field. And again, you keep mentioning the fact they keep bringing the safety down to the side of the running back here, and you got the inside linebacker all keying on the same thing, it looks like.
Right. They're going to – the running back is such a factor in the game, and he's such a good player. You almost have to commit 2 people to him. And, the safety being in the middle of the field will force the quarterback to throw the ball down the field.
So they're going to put the ball in his belly and take it out of there.
Nice job here. Nice quick throw. Safety's deep enough. He knows he's got a chance.
And this looks like a lot of pre-snap read. Again, you keep talking about the leverage.
Right.
You know, you look at where the safety's at on this side of the field. DB's got himself cheated outside in terms of leverage. As long as you keep those linebackers' eyes up, this space is going to be vacant behind it.
Right. And the tight end blocking, ties the linebacker up so he doesn't, he knows it's man-to-man. He ties it up. Boom. There's a hole in the coverage right there.
And gives this guy a chance to run afterwards.
Right.
So I just want to talk, hear from you a little bit on, his lower body and getting through this progression here, getting the ball out of belly and throwing an accurate crosser.
Watch how much smoother he is here, Dan. He takes no power, just nice and light on his feet. Look at his shoulders. He's established the plane.
Nice, he's so much flatter in his shoulders here.
Right. Nice, accurate throw. Boom.
Upfield shoulder, and off we go.
Right. And there's just a twist in it. The torque in his upper body makes the throw. He catches it in front of him. Chance for a big play right there. That's well done right there.
So far, the difference in him and his shoulders seem to be a key point in his downfield accuracy.
Right. And sometimes he's smooth going, into his slides, and sometimes he gets, a little too much power and gets off balance in his setup.
So they start off 2x2 in motion.
Okay. All right, the roll in the safeties.
So let's just go and show that to everybody. So again, safety was down over here before the movement here. So rock or roll, however you want to phrase that. Now we've exchanged the safeties up and down. One thing I like to talk to people about when they talk about box safeties, if you just keep them in the box, then it depends on what your rules are. Because you can motion them out of those positions.
Motion will give you matchups that you're looking for and things like that. So, now this is pretty good design. Okay, we get the safety coming to the middle of the field, and once the safety starts coming to the middle of the field, he's got his shoulders, his whole body is sliding to the quarterback's right, to the safety's left. So you opened up a cavity on the back side for an in route, and I think Cam is doing a good job with his eyes. He's looking over here to his right, gives a little bit of ball action, and then because of the leverage on the corner, you have an easy dig route on the back side. The important thing is to get that ball thrown as quickly as you can so that the linebacker does not become a factor. See this linebacker coming back in?
Yeah.
He drops him to the other linebacker. Now you've got to get the ball thrown. Ball's got to be gone.
And it looks like he protects his receiver from contact there.
Right, by throwing it on the backside there.
Take that through to the end.
So let's take a look at it. Watch his eyes. Okay, he's looking down the middle field. He looks to the right. He wants to get that safety over if he can. He knows he's going to the backside. The linebackers pass off the underneath route. And then, boom. See, watch what Cam does here now. His front foot is not going where he's throwing it. Okay? Go ahead a little bit more. All right? And see how it stays inside? He's trying to throw it, looks like to me, the way he steps. See the little jab step there? He's kind of out of whack with his left foot and then comes back inside. The good thing is he did not bring it over to the right anymore where that linebacker could be a factor. So, this is a successful play.
Yeah, he has to actually pivot that front foot through the throw.
Right. So what does that tell me as a quarterback coach? His body is out of sync right now. Where there's no synergy. It's not all working together. So he's fighting himself just a little bit there. And that's why the ball is behind him.
So we got a 2nd and 6 here. Carolina holding a 10-point lead. Going to work play action.
Okay. You got one more time then.
For some reason, my eyes are getting caught here on this middle backer, Van Der Esch here.
Right.
And him retreating like this. This could be great film study or some sort of tell in what they're getting here. Could just be the hi-hat reads across the board. But, man, he gets some depth fast.
Right. This is a combination coverage, Dan, where you have your linebackers playing zone, okay? Just go back to this right now. You have the 4 guys. You have the 3 linebackers and the guy on the line of scrimmage. Just circle those guys right there, and this guy here playing man-to-man on the outside. He's got him man-to-man. This guy's got a man-to-man on this side over here. All right. So what happens now, you're going to see the corner at the top is going to run with that wide receiver. This is a tough read for the quarterback because the safety is really favoring to the left. He's hanging on the left hash. So right now, the easiest throw would be over here to the right. You got a corner that's outside, and you got room to throw the ball. Notice both corners ran with the outside receivers, and then the other guys are playing zone. So you as the quarterback, stop it right there. You turn around, and you see that both linebackers have dropped back. That's telling you that you've got a combination coverage where you're playing zone with the 4 people inside and the 2 outside guys because you had a press on your X that is probably man-to-man.
Go back and show that again.
Press. I'm sure matchup this guy's playing off. But notice how he drives on that guy. So he's playing a man-to-man. And he knows he doesn't have to go barreling in there right now because he's got inside people playing zone that's going to make it difficult to get the ball there. So if you were going to try to get a double move on the corner to your right, he's outside knowing that he has inside zone help inside. And then you have the corner who's playing it man-to-man, lock deal right there. Just go back one more time. Okay. Makes it difficult to get it in there, but, he does a good job of.
Heck of a job to make sure the line or the DB coming down here that falls off.
Right.
Tries to come underneath that, doesn't make a play.
Right. And the underneath coverage is affected by the fullback coming out in the flat. See it?
Yep. So they pull Heath out.
Right.
Creates that window. Jones comes across, Funchess backdoors him. And then Cam's executed.
Cam's pretty light on his feet. Good cylinder. Shoulders pretty good. Boom. That's a pretty good throw right there.
So 2nd and 26 now. Dallas putting 8 points on the board here, tightening up the game a little bit. They go vacant again.
We're an empty. Trying to get a little
Right here.
chip. Yeah. Okay. Got outside leverage here. Turning it into a zone. That's an impressive throw right there.
What do you think of the timing on that from Cam's point?
Well, see, just run it back. This is a problem. Okay. Look at both guys that are up in the wing position. They're trying to give a little chip to the tackles. So what happens is you want to make sure your quarterback can get the ball off. So you're trying to chip and help the tackles. But when they play a zone and they chip, it distorts the distribution of the route, and it doesn't pull the underneath coverage out of there as quickly as you would like. So let's run it just a little bit.
So again,
Okay, see how both guys are sitting there hitting? Okay. He's slow getting out. Okay, now see the guy that's on the 26-yard line. He's really, we would like to have the back get out and be outside here, pulling him to open up that hole. Okay. Now, that doesn't happen. And with Cam's arm strength, he drives it in the hole. Good job by the receiver coming down the field, getting the corner to open his hips.
As soon as Funchess comes out, Cam lets go.
Right.
And just beating Lee to that spot.
Yeah. A little close for me. I'd like to have a little bit better design, trying to open it up. Here's the chip. Okay. Cam, trying to give the ball action. Sometimes, that little pat of the ball, that little ball action, I don't know that affects the defense as much as some quarterbacks think it does. But right now, that really doesn't tell me anything. I got to recock now and throw the ball. But because of his arm strength and talent that he has, that's a big time throw right there.
You're not going to teach that window to most quarterbacks.
No, you.
So now we're shifting forward. This is the Week 7 game. All right, they're at Philadelphia. This ends up being the game where he does injure his shoulder. So just wanted to take, again, a look at these are the 10-plus yard throws that we're going to see from him here. They run 12 personnel, have the wing up top.
Got the safety in the middle of the field. You got the corner off.
Oh, actually, they're in a tackle over situation here. So they're still 2-by-2. Two-man route against that many DBs. The numbers don't work out well, huh?
Right. One more time. This may, Dan, be a cover 2 look. Okay. They're rolling the coverage to the top. And Cam does a real good job of seeing this. Now, just go back to the pre-alignment. Okay. The safety is high and deep. You look at it, ball's on the 26-yard line, and he's on the 46-yard line. So that's a 20-yard gap. So I'm sure they probably had a key. If the safety's off 20 yards, there's a good chance he's going to roll one way or the other. Well, I would verify it. I'd look out and say, okay, I've got the corner to my right who's off at 9 yards. All right. So that to me would just say, hey, wait a minute. I may have some type of roll coverage to the top and let's see what happens. Okay, stop it. Stop. Okay, now the corner, he's back almost 20. He's back 19 yards from the line of scrimmage. So because there's only one receiver on this side that he's worried about, he's playing high and off. And then the linebacker to the inside that's on the 30-yard line, right there, Dan, he's coming back trying to take away any out or anything like that. So the quarterback does a good job. As you look at it, to his right, he's got one guy on the 45, one guy on the 30, and another guy on the 33, at least 7 yards inside of him. So we should be able to throw anything out to the right very easily. Okay, now let's go back and see why we're late with it. See, to me, go back just to the end of the drop, Dan. See how he reaches deep. See, he's jumping into it. Look how wide his base is. Now he's got to gather. He's got to pull it all up in. If he's a little bit tighter, he'll be able to get that throw out. There's plenty of room coming out there. You know, good play by the linebacker, though.
So again, just for everybody, as he sets up here, you're talking about the width of his lower body.
Right. You know, I mean, that's 1.5 yards. Between his back foot and his front foot is 1.5 yards. Well, you know, if it was 3/4 of a yard, he'd be quicker getting the ball off in that situation. Now, look at his body. He's got his weight back. Now it's almost 2 yards. You got his back foot is on the 17-yard line, and his front foot is almost on the 19-yard line. So you're going to transfer all of that out. You know, if your shoulder's hurting or something like that, or your neck, okay, sometimes you try to get more of your body into it. Where if you're healthy, you can take, and your arm and your rotation of your upper body can make that throw. So this throw is just a little bit late.
And then this DB, as we're talking about here, because they don't have anything coming to the flat, he's got no threat, so he's able to just turn and run. Right. He gets to run directly underneath number one. In fact, he's anticipating he's playing outside.
Right. His responsibility is really, he's got to be like the cover 2 corner, and however he gets that. So if there's no threat in the flat, I'm sorry?
Sorry, I was just saying that's a headsy play there by Malcolm Jenkins, the safety.
Right. See, he knows. See, he's turning and he's hunting up that guy. He's looking at his shoulders, and see how he looks for the ball?
Yep.
You know, there's almost 7 to 8 yards in there, and that's really a nice job of him finding the ball. You're not going to find a lot of DBs can do that and find the ball like he did.
No, heck of a play by him.
But I think Cam could have salvaged the play if he was a little bit tighter and more compact in his. See that rotation, you know, you just got to drop that over there. I mean, you'd like him to make that throw.
Absolutely.
And I'm not sure. Look at his weight. His weight is not.
Yeah, he's got a lot of it in the back. He's got to wait to get those hips through.
Right.
These are the small things. You know, it's the fractions of a second. You know, he gets that out just a touch quicker, and Jenkins, as good as Jenkins was in that play, isn't a factor.
Well, and you got to give the defense. Those guys all know where there's a problem and what people are going to do. I mean, if you're rolling the coverage, hey, everybody, 9 out of 10 times they're going to try to come back to that side. So you got to find somebody like the guy from Philadelphia that can make the play. And I'm sure it's happened enough that he's gotten better in that coverage every time.
No doubt. So Carolina puts Greg Olsen down here by himself to the same side as the running back. It's 2nd and 15. They motion. So there's a quad set for you, Coach.
Looks like we've got zone. The corner is going outside with the running back. Now, the thing you don't know is whether they have a combination. Are they trying to play this as a bunch type of deal? And, your scouting report would have to tell you that.
So we got someone dropping back here.
Right. So it's pure zone to me now.
Cam's got to fight off the pressure.
Again, it's turning into a 2 deep, okay? But this is a different 2 deep. Okay, go back to the pre-snap. Okay, even a little farther back, Dan. Okay, we've got the safety down. The last 2 deep we had, what did we say? The safety was back 20 yards.
Yeah.
All right? Now, I've got both corners backed off. So, knowing Philadelphia, okay, they like to be a 2 deep team and give you all the different looks into getting it to a 2 deep. Well, the interesting thing, where's number 27? Right there. Okay, we just saw him make a great play. So now with that safety down, if I'm Cam Newton and I'm coaching him, I'm telling him, okay, looks like we're going to try to get some type of cover 2. I got both corners off. One corner to my left is off at 10 yards, and the other corner is off at 8 yards, and I have the safety down. It's much easier for those corners to go back and play 2 deep. And then I've got 27, who I know has done a great job of playing underneath that stuff. And let's take a look at it, see what happens. He's faking the safety going back, and then what does he do? He comes down, and now he's going to play the underneath coverage, which some people used to call the Tampa 2, where the safety would run deep. Both corners are off playing really a cover 2 type of look. You've got 27, who's over on this side, who's now going to try to do the same thing he did. He knows that this defense is weak. He's reading the quarterbacks in his eyes. He wasn't as sure that the tight end was going to run the out route here. Knowing your personnel is important. But that's, if we're on top of our game and we don't get pressure, take a look at the guy going down the middle of the field in cover 2. So again, you've got to know what's happening with the defense, but it's hard with the pressure that Cam's getting in this situation.
Yeah, the DN coming free is not usually what you want here. So they turn it.
See, and it's a 5-man protection, but there's got to be somebody hot to the right because we've got nobody to block that guy.
So let's just go back and take one more peek. Formation up here. All right, so we got the quads look again. We talked about. You'd have
one of those two guys have to be hot in that situation. If Cam was just being able to get up and throw the ball to the guy coming from the outside, at least you got a chance for the play and you don't get your quarterback hit.
Yeah, and to show that look, even with the crosser and the return route off of that just takes too much time.
Right. You got to have something where you're getting the ball out of your hand right now.
Or you can't, or you can't turn the protection away from it without it.
Right. Well, they do a good job. They show an overload, and they buy it. And I don't think he needed to turn it, because somebody, either the center or the quarterback, turned the protection, and they shouldn't have.
So he's able to get himself free and at least get the ball out of bounds.
Right, that's a good job, and you give the quarterback credit for that.
So 2nd and 6, Carolina's down 10. They go empty again.
Safety's deep, single high.
Throwing that vacant area and behind the backer level.
Right.
Again, led him well.
Notice how much smoother he is in that drop. He's within his cylinder. He's tight. No panic. Stays in rhythm. Delivers the ball.
And again, the camera's going to hug him pretty good here. That's just the way the Philly camera works.
Shoulders are not rocking and rolling. They're pretty level. Nice throw.
Good job. Just looking at that lead foot again. You got that.
Still twisting. Yeah. You like to see him a little lighter on his feet, so you get that hip open a little quicker.
So 1st and 10. Again, Philly showing the 20-yard deep safety. Motion at 2x2. Jenkins follows. We're going to run that concept again we saw in the Dallas game. Hold everybody. Come out. Throw that skinny post.
Right. But see, he's much more relaxed right there. He's smooth with his feet. He's not laboring to get into his drop.
Yeah.
In my opinion, in looking at the film. Let's take a look at it from behind.
Yeah, like I said, we'll work with the copy here. The cameraman stays pretty tight on the quarterback in terms of ball placement.
Right. See, to me, that's a nice, compact, comfortable throw. His feet are good. Body's good.
He knows he's going to throw around Jenkins here, so he throws from a different arm slot.
That's well done.
Unfortunately, the DB comes in and plucks it away from Funchess. 2nd and 15. Or I'm sorry, 2nd and 11.
Let's go back to that. 2x2. Corner inside.
So what's that corner inside here? Just again for everybody, corner's going to be inside leverage inside of this receiver. What's that telling you in terms of potential coverage?
Nothing just yet, because the safety is I would be thinking possibly cover 2 with the safety being high again. He's 20 yards deep. He's on the 30. The ball's on the 50. I'd like to look at the personnel and see whether 27 is over here or not. Can you tell
breaking out off that inside leverage?
That's a good job by the quarterback understanding the leverage. The safety goes back in the middle of the field. He knows he's got inside leverage. He knows he's got the out. See how much smoother he is in his drop there? He's compact, no big step.
Let me get this paused up here when he hits the top. You talked before on that last one with that kind of throw, there was a 2-yard distance in his feet. Now look at it.
Much more compact, boom. He steps. It's not a 2-yard step. It's like 1.5 yards.
Fires that in there to Samuel.
There's not a lot of herky-jerky with his upper body. Throw, nice stepping into it. Boom.
Follows through, gets the hips through. Give Samuel a chance. 1st and 10, third quarter. Eagles are now up 17-0, so got to get some points on the board here. 2-by-2 again, back to the field. First time we're seeing this kind of look from the safeties.
Right, the safeties are giving you a different look.
In fact, we got all the DBs right here around the 30. Looks like they're going to bring somebody off the edge here. Blitz the back.
See, this concerns me right here. You as the quarterback, stop it, Dan, right there. Okay. The safety is back on the 36-yard line, but he's favoring that side. To think that you should be able to throw an in route, you may get it in there, but you're going to have to go visit that guy in the hospital because he's going to get hit pretty good. To me, going to the right with the guy going down the seam, there's more of an open area there. And if you just look at the safety, that should tell you that. So right now, you're throwing into the teeth of the defense. And see how that guy's already opened up? I mean, if you're coaching defense, you're asking the safety, where are you going? That guy's running an in route. Where are you going?
And again, you've got this coming wide open through there. Now, again, Jenkins' turn. He's open and throwing.
Right.
But even before that, he's flat-footed here over number 2 running a vertical.
Right. And this he's overplaying this. I mean, where's he going? The corner's already
it's got hips
outside and got his hips open. I mean, a safety hanging around, that should be an interception right there.
Yeah.
And then as a quarterback, why are you going over there? You're just looking for trouble.
Sure. He stays on that one from the beginning too, just looking to where his eyes are. Right. His eyes stay left from jump.
Right. You're down 17-0. What are you trying to do? There's a lot of factors in a game, and I think he's feeling the pressure. Defensive line's got their ears back. They're coming hard. And now here's the throw. He's looking at that for a long time.
He's definitely willing to throw with a man in his face. We've seen him a couple of times now, and Fletcher Cox takes center right to his lap.
He's a big, powerful man. But I think sometimes he makes it hard on himself.
He definitely didn't get the read on that one because he would have had 7 points on the board. So 2nd and 3 here, 3-by-1. Back down here to the boundary.
Safeties are down.
You got 6 here, immediately over your protection. Got that matchup there.
You got inside leverage. One more time.
Slot fade.
Right. You know, it looks like they were trying to give him the screen look, you know, where they're trying to get the corner to come up. They do a good job. They protect it well. You know, it's just on the fringe. But look at Cam right now. It looks like his weight is back. There's no rhythm in his body. And then he lets it go. No follow through because he can't. And as they say, we have a long foul ball.
Had to do this one with the upper body. Again, center taken all the way back. But just a placement of the ball, there's a few things wrong with that one, obviously.
Right. But see, Dan, I think he starts to lean back before the guy even gets in his lap. We will see it from the rear. You know, he might be, you know, it's late in the game. You know, he might say to himself, hey, look, I've gotten hit enough today.
And again, this is a cut up, not a full game look. So there's some plays preceding this we didn't get a chance to take a look at.
Yeah. See, I know he's more courageous than that because he's hung in there a lot longer. But see how he's arcing his back, trying to get everything into the throw. And I just think that, you know, he's jumping straight up in the air, you know, because of the pressure. But
they had the concept, didn't nail the execution. So 2nd and 6, 11-point game, under 7 minutes to go. Again, 3-by-1, back down here to the boundary. Taking advantage of the corners that want to stay inside.
You know, he's much more compact. He's more in rhythm. You know, so much, you know, it's like anything. It's like a golfer. You know, if you got a good rhythm, normally you hit the ball pretty well. Same thing with a quarterback. You know, if you're in rhythm, you know, good chance to complete the ball. When you get out of rhythm, the ball starts moving on you, sailing on you, and everything else.
Does make his guy go up here and get his feet down in bounds. See a little bit of how that looks here. Protection, taking care of everything.
Very nice. You know, very comfortable in the pocket. You know, no herky-jerky movement.
Again, that front foot pivoting.
Right.
Heck of a job there by
nice
11.
Throw, nice catch.
Same drive, same situation, same formation. Showing that invert coverage, it looks like again.
Yeah, going back to the cover 2.
There's the
that's, you know, that's a good job by the quarterback and the coaching staff. They said, hey, if we get this cover 2 again, we got this guy coming down the field, middle of the field, wide open. And it's a nice job by everybody involved. You know, when you see this, it's a big play.
Absolutely. Great read on that one. Look at how he sets up here. I mentioned before about how smooth he looks when he feels like he trusts it.
Right. He knows what the coverage is. He knows what he has. He knows where everybody's going. And I think, when you're smooth like that, 9 out of 10 times you're going to have a big play because you know what you're doing. And go back and just look at where the guy caught it. He almost caught it exactly in the middle of the field. Okay? He may be a yard off the middle of the field, but that's a perfect spot for the ball, and the defense can't get to it. It's a nice job by the quarterback, a nice job of recognizing.
So moving his team here. Again, same situation. Ball down here on the 18-yard line. They go 2-by-2.
Safety in the middle of the field. Corners off. Got a double move. Had inside leverage. Gets him on a sluggo. Slant and go. But again, look how smooth he is in the pocket. He's not herky-jerky. He doesn't get out of rhythm. No violent reach step.
Every time we've seen this where he crouches down for that exchange point, he seems to be more efficient how he comes together.
Yeah, because you're faking, Dan. It's hard to, when you're dropping back, it's easy to get your body where it's going faster than it should, and you get out of sync. When you have to fake, it slows everything down throughout your body.
Don't know if anybody was buying that fake, but he still gets himself set up.
Yeah. But the thing that's important is he's in rhythm. When we see it from behind, the receiver does a good job of, faking the slant. And they run a couple of slants earlier in the ball game, off that fake action. Just watch how smooth he is here now. Light on his feet, no herky-jerky.
Getting his hips through to finish.
Yep.
Touchdown.
Good job. Yep.
Now we're back in the ball game. 3-point game, 2-minute drill. 2nd and 10. Vacant.
Got man-to-man coverage with the linebacker free.
What would you call this concept up top? You called it a slant slide. Just one in, two out.
Yep. Interesting thing down at the bottom here. Just go back. They're playing a type of banjo cover where we're letting the halfback come out to the corner. He knows he's got inside leverage. So what they're doing is they're passing it and trying to get a big hit or an interception, thinking that the cam is going to go to the running back here in the flat. That's a pretty nice job by the defense.
He makes his choice on number 1. A little high. I mean, when he's been missing or leading, that's been where he's been missing more often.
Yeah, go back and look at his stride.
Or open before that. Or not wide stance again.
Wide stance again. See, he's just not in rhythm. And when you're not in rhythm, that's where the inconsistencies come in. And it just makes it difficult for you.
So let's see that one from the end zone. Slow her down. That's where the side view actually helps us see a little bit better with that distance.
And then watch the twisting, he's got his right shoulder going up high, his left shoulder going down low, and all of a sudden the ball is not where you want it.
Sailing. And he's got a group of shorter receivers other than 17. So here we go again, that 3-by-1, back to the boundary. Eagles showing 20-yard deep safety.
Got man-to-man coverage.
In breaking backside route. And again, miss on the placement here.
Right, let's take a look at his drop. To me, he's opening up, he's much wider in his drop. It looks like he's really reaching that first step. Maybe we'll see it from behind.
Yeah, I really want to see his foot. I think what you saw there from the wide copy is spot on.
See how wide that is, and look at his front foot.
Yeah, his front foot's getting closed, and he's got to pivot it during. Just look where that ball comes out. I mean, the ball's trajectory's going this way, not in a receiver.
The ones he completes, he's compact and has it all going in the same direction.
Fourth and 10. Here it is. If you're going to stay in the ball game, same formation, same safety setup. You get some pressure on him with just 4.
Man-to-man coverage. Makes a nice play, stepping up and throwing.
Philadelphia DB there makes it a little easier when you fall down. A little hard to cover when you fall down. So we'll see him set up here.
Much more compact. His feet are, he's much smoother. Nice and easy. Steps up.
Got to make that jump ball again in this scenario.
Right.
Heck of a throw for that condition. So that's our cut up there of again a 10-yard plus air yards, ball in the air, and this is just a passing map of what those looked like in terms of the season. So, Coach, just wanted to get kind of your closing thoughts on Cam and that 2018 exposure again, Week 1 Dallas and Week 7 against Philadelphia.
I thought he played well. I think when he starts pushing himself and gets out of rhythm, he has some issues with accuracy. The thing that he does make some throws, and you say, okay, I see him make a good throw. Now I want to see him do it more. And I think, he's a big man. He's played 9 years, and there's nobody that's playing this game that's 50 years old. And I think you only have so many throws, so many runs in your body, and then it starts to affect you. And the skill guys, they're not like the big guys. The big guys can play for a year and a half longer because their skill sets doesn't expose them. But the skill guys, it's like they fell off a cliff, that when they're hurt or things are not right or they're not in rhythm, you go along and then all of a sudden, whoa, is this the same guy? And, he played well enough in 18. There's some good things there that you say, okay, how do we get that guy? And, it's just, can you be consistent enough and not labor to do some things which throws you out of rhythm? Does that
Sure.
make sense? Yeah.
So, Coach, just to get into a little bit on your background, have you worked with a quarterback in let's say 5 or plus years in his career where the lower body, we're seeing that kind of variance play in and play out? What's that like to kind of work? Do you have any examples of anybody that you've seen kind of get over the hump on that?
Well, I think what you have to do is you have to look at the accuracy. In the National Football League, it's not like being in college where you can go 3 and out and come back in because the defense will get the other team off. You may lose the ball and you don't see it for the rest of that quarter. So what you try to do is you try to work on accuracy, but while working on accuracy, you're also working with their foot movement and their balance. And the biggest thing is trying to get them where they're comfortable with themselves. They're comfortable with their footwork. Now, if you twist your ankle, it's hard to get comfortable with your footwork because you're hurting, or they got it taped, or whatever they do to try to get you so you can play. It's one of those things that you just got to work on your footwork. You got to jump rope. You got to do things that make you light on your feet so that you're comfortable with yourself, and there's synergy through your body. You don't have your upper body working against your lower body, and you don't have your shoulders. One shoulder's up, one shoulder's down. There's no consistency there. So you're trying to get them in a situation where you can improve their accuracy.
I'm with you. Coach, so really great to have you again. Part 1 here, we're tackling that 2018 film. Excited to have you back for part 2. We're going to look at him in 2019 after this shoulder injury, see if there's any difference in the same bucket of throws, 10-plus air yards, again, up to the point where his foot injury puts him on injured reserve. So again, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you again to GamePass for providing the film. And again, excited to have you back for part 2 here very soon.
My pleasure. Thanks, Dan.